If you have like a normal salary, they make sure you receive your normal salary.
It enables me to live. It enables me to keep both myself and my business afloat.
The employed workers are being guaranteed pretty much a sum of about £25,000.
The United States and Europe are both in lockdown. Non-essential business is closed. Quarantine is keeping hundreds of millions indoors. But the economic damage and the financial pressure on individual citizens looks very different on either side of the Atlantic.
There's the huge economic toll on American families, with a record 3.2 million people filing for unemployment benefits.
I wouldn't want to switch with some of my friends in the US right now.
In response to coronavirus, the U.S. government is expanding who gets included and how much is paid through unemployment benefits. But the aid package does relatively little to help businesses cover workers' salaries or keep people employed. And now the U.S. is seeing millions lose their jobs. While the U.S. prioritizes getting money to the unemployed, governments across Europe are taking a different approach, freezing their economies in place by directly paying workers' salaries, which for now is preventing the massive job losses seen in the U.S. Of course, different countries all handle this differently, but throughout Europe, a strong social safety net and a focus on keeping people employed has been a consistent theme. To see what that looks like on a personal level, we talked to a handful of Europeans impacted by their country's efforts to freeze their economies.
My name is Henrik Moslund. I'm from Denmark. Me and my wife, we have a cafe in a small town called Æbeltoft.
My name's Charlie and I run a craftsperson collective that's based in Berlin.
We take surplus produce and sell that to restaurants, big kitchens, schools, kindergartens.
I am a classical musician, so I'm a conductor and a singer.
I work in the event sectors, but everything is cancelled on the 1st of June.
Last weekend we decided to completely shut the business until further notice.
We've gone down with like 60% of our income.
50 to 60% of our revenues breaking away.
We have no income through that for 2 months, 3 months, could be 4 months, could be way more than that. We simply don't know.
But they're taking care of people that can lose hours at their job. They're making sure that's subsidized via the government.
If a company was to furlough any worker, that is to say, well, we're laying them off, but we want to retain them on our books. The government is guaranteeing 80% of your salary up to a maximum of about £25,000.
Say I own a cafe and I have 10 staff and I can't afford to pay them all 100% of their wage. They accept a cut in wage to like 60%, and then the state helps pay for some of that.
So it's quite good, and we'll get by on that. We're not going to get our savings growing right now or anything, but we'll survive.
I'm really glad I don't have to have any existential fears in my current position with a crisis like that rolling out, because it seems so far that the aid that our system here is providing is working, at least for me.
In the U.S., losing your job also often means losing your health care, or at least the ability to pay for adequate care. That's a big concern, especially during a global pandemic, and it's something Europeans can't quite wrap their heads around.
I'm also guessing that if you don't have a job, you guys don't have healthcare, right? Sorry, that. I can't even imagine what that does to a person. We pay taxes for it. We pay a partial sum from our salary for this. This is how the whole system works.
You got free healthcare and all that, so it's not like a financial thing. If you get ill, you get pretty good treatment here.
I think the real issue is that there are countries in the world who constantly think about what might happen. Why we want a worst case scenario here, and we want to look out for people if that happens. And there are other countries in the world who will say, well, if that happens, we've got enough resources to deal with it at that point, but we're not going to put anything in place until that happens.